It's your boy AG, Cornerman Boxing. I have the honor and pleasure today, Mr. Willie Moses, a.k.a. Wiley. It's an honor having you, as I said. How you doing today, sir?
All right, thank you for having me.
So, I'm saying, it's another big fight, Shakur Stevenson, back in Newark, his hometown. How special is this for you guys?
Well, it's special for us because we're home, and I think having that opportunity to come back where it all started at right now is really gratifying for him, to actually come back here. He performed here, but to come back as a Unified World Champion, I think that means a lot to us both. Representing the city and seeing what you can do, coming from here, letting the children know that their dreams can come true. This was one of his biggest dreams. I remember when we did our first interview, he said, "Pop, one day I want to fight here in the Prudential Center." And now it's happening, not once but twice.
Wow, a main event too.
Yeah.
Right, now many people credit you as the main reason, as his teacher in boxing and in life, you know what I'm saying? How special has it been for you to see his growth, and just what's the magic behind the success, man?
Well, the magic behind the success has been his dedication, his experience, and his desire, because, I trained a lot of athletes, but, he and I have been together almost all our life, all his amateur career. I think, we first embarked on USA Boxing, as far as the Olympic team is, in 2011, and we went all the way together, him and I, to 2015. I departed, and they changed regimes in 2015, so I was no longer a member. So that was the only time in his life that he had never, experienced without me. So I guess with that, to now, watching his maturization, watching him grow in the sport, it's been like phenomenal. It's been something that, a lot of people wouldn't believe that happened. And, the thing about it is that I'm here just to let everybody know that he and I witnessed that it did happen, and it can happen, If you really work hard enough to live your dream, and you want your dream and have the desire and commitment to do it, we're witnesses. We're here to let you know it can be done. So everything is through that. I say, we always can talk about the hard work, the dedication and everything else, but if you don't have that desire inside you, that unwavering commitment and desire that you never let go, hey, it never happens. So, and he has that, just like many of the other athletes have that. And I think without that one thing, you will never achieve your greatness. As long as you let that fire or desire keep burning in you, you'll keep going.
Wow. How hard is it to play both the grandfather and the trainer role? Because those are two such important roles in a man's life,
Oh, I really like to talk about that to the young fathers and, out here now, and the young coaches that are going through and went through the things that I went, as well as the things that I know. I think I learned more from watching all the other things, what to do, what not to do. And through my coaching experience, I would always knew that, there has to be a balance, between, communications, the good, bad, up, down, everything else. So what we tried to do is at an early age, I had to let them know. I said, "Shakur, listen," I said, "when we inside that ring and inside that gym, I'm your coach, you know what I mean? You talk to me like a man, talk to me like anything else. Outside the ring, I'm your grandfather." And the reason I tell him that is because I need him to be a man inside the ring, and he needs to think for himself inside that ring.
Right.
Without me, he needs to make them click to himself and have the confidence in doing it. So I had to let him know that parity goes with everything else, his training and everything else, just like training hard, recovery goes along with the training. So, that balance, I think, is the thing that gave us that thing that we were able to overcome a lot of obstacles, man. Fighting and everything else, we go through a lot. This little kid in school, you got to do this,
right.
Coming up like everything else, and we realize that there's always a bigger picture, and I think that's been the epitome of our success.
Right. Now you have a great boxing mind, man. I could tell just from even speaking, and your work reflects that. You know what I'm saying? Who are some of the guys you learned from in the sport?
Oh, man, I had some great learners, man. First of all, my main coach, he was a sparring partner for Bob Forster and Floyd Patterson,
Wow.
And they really kept me grounded in the old school thing, like you see, I'm like from old school. you see a lot of dudes doing all this here stuff. We don't do this. We pull our hands here, keep our hands close to our body because that's what we protect them.
Right.
You know, so some of the secrets. I won't give them up.
I appreciate that.
I think I was playing pretty sound, having a real legitimate sound boxing background and foundation. I think that's been the key. You know, we don't pay attention to a lot of the flashy other things. I think we concentrate on more the small detailed things that, you know, that sets us apart from everybody else.
Right. What do you think is the most important thing a fighter should have to be successful?
The desire.
Just the
be
desire.
a champion, man. You know, young fighters, you know, a lot of them say, how you doing? You know, and they say, tell me, they say, I'm doing fine, you know. When I ask my guys how you doing and how you feeling, they say like a champ. And, you know, this is what I expect from them because, you know, they got to know that they're winners inside, not just winners because of what they do or how they skill. You know, they have to be winners in life. So I think that's the biggest thing that we do that sets us apart from everybody else.
Right. Now, as we know, Shakur will be facing Robson Conceicao. You know, so many people feel he beat Valdez. You know, would you consider this the toughest fight in his career so far?
The toughest fighter?
That it may be the toughest opponent?
Well, you know, we seen him when we went to Brazil. You know, we boxed him there. We boxed him stateside when he came here. You know,
so there's a history.
You know, it's not, you know, like I said, we look at him like we look at Oscar Valdez and the other opponent. But, you know, by far, I still don't think he's the toughest opponent that Shakur's faced. You know, I don't think he's as tough as Oscar Valdez and Jamel Harris. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
I don't mean to disrespect him anyway.
No,
you know?
not at all.
I watched him in Brazil. I met quite a his coaches, and you know, I had quite a few friends on the Brazilian team. And, you know, I also, you know, instructed Renzo Gracie martial arts. You know, I did stand-up and taught with some of those guys. And, you know, I have a good background in Brazil. You know, I like Brazil. You know, I have a partner in business with Brazil in one of my gyms. So, you know, I'm pretty buzzed. Matter of fact, we're in the midst of bringing a Brazilian fighter over here now. On 7-0 from Brazil. They're supposed to be one of their highly touted prospects. So, like I said, I have a lot of respect for all fighters, particularly Brazilian, man, because I know how hard they work, you know.
Right.
And they're some of the hardest working people in there. You go to Brazil, you'll see how athletically and how in shape and how healthy all the people are, man. You can walk up down the beaches, man. You see all the people work out at the beaches. They do it as a community, you know, as a society. You know, they you know, that workout ethic is like part of their ritual. So, you know, I respect them a great deal.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point because they have some of the greatest athletes in all sports: basketball, soccer, boxing, everything, jiu-jitsu, UFC, all that stuff.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? Now, Coach, you know, Bob Arum was saying that he wants to make the Lomachenko fight. What's your thoughts on that fight? And would you guys be willing to take that, and how soon?
Well, how soon? Like, you know, like I said, the first World Championship, you know, no respect to Lomachenko, was in Ukraine against a defending Ukrainian World Champion. And we did that at 14 years old, you know, and we boxed Lomachenko at 17, you know. And, you know, we've gotten better, you know. We've gotten faster, we got stronger. I know he's gotten older. Bones got harder. You know, the thing about it is, will he like it? You know, we look for it, and you know, I'm quite sure if the numbers are right, my grandson is gonna love it. You know, you know, we're not looking to fight this guy for peanuts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we done won almost everything. That would be a great fight. 2 AIBA boxers of the year, 2 former boxer of the year world champions. You know what I'm saying? So you know. And the old, young versus the old.
Right. Young line versus the older line.
You know, at one point, you know, he proved that he was one of the best southpaws in the world. We also proved that we was one of the best southpaws in the world, amateur-wise. So, you know, I still think, you know, we have better technique in him. We was able to touch him up at 17, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And we have a lot more experience now, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and a lot of things that, you know, my grandson was learning then, you know, he's have adequate more time to learn it and at the professional level now. And he's still gonna learn a lot more, you know, and hey, Like I tell many, we haven't seen the best of him yet, man.
Wow.
He's just touching the surface in terms of his ability and his skill. I'm one of the few that had to see it, over the years, every day, and grow with it, man. I've seen him do phenomenal things that he and nobody haven't seen him do yet. Very few people seen him do yet. You'll see.
Right, absolutely. He's very poised, very tremendous fighter. Most people regard him as maybe the best in the sport. Now, before we let you go, Coach, another fight. I'm in the gym a lot of trainers, fighters. A fight they all want to see is Shakur versus Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that? And you know what I'm saying?
Devonte is a much shorter person. I never seen anybody shorter than Shakur beat him. Not to say, that had to do with it. And, Shakur and Tank, we came up together, We were traveling around at one point together. Shakur box Tank everything. Tank, I want to box. I'm on a box. Every time Shakur sees Tank, he want to box him. Pop, I want to box Tank. I want to box Tank, And that's been since he was 13 years old, So, it's nothing new under the sun, I just say one thing, he's not confident for no reason.
Right, because I even asked him before, and he was very confident.
He's not confident without science behind it.
Okay, that says a lot. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir. Is there any message you want to give to your supporters, all the people in the community that's coming out to see Shakur Stevenson?
I just wanted to ask you to come out. Thank you for coming out. Please support the fans and please support the community. And we're going to have to fight his life, man. He wants you to come out. We miss you all. He missed the city. And the following day, on the 24th, we will be having a Shakur Stevenson boxing showcase at the clubhouse in Newark.
Wow.
All right.
Where can you follow you at, Coach?
You can follow me at Stevenson Moses, BoxingForLife.com.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Wish you the best going forward, and God bless you guys and the entire team and family as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moses.